Forever podcast.
If one of your players had done that, would you have had an issue with that?
Yeah, I would, yeah. What's respect in it? I think it's a lack of respect if a player runs up a touchline and he's squirting a water bottle in supporters' face. I certainly wouldn't want my players to do it.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. I'm Xander, and I've got John here to go through everything Celtic, everything that's been happening in the news, all your latest injury news, team news, game against Hearts, everything that's going on at Celtic Park just now. But the big one for us is the Hearts game, obviously. We're back into normal football, John. We're back to Premiership action against Hearts at Celtic Park, 3 o'clock kick-off on Saturday. It's been a long wait.
Aye, it just drags in, especially when you're on the back of a defeat. It just makes it that much longer. It seems like a month.
But, John, let's get into the news then. The latest news at Celtic Park and around Celtic Park as well, but involves Celtic. Let's get into the news right away. Obviously, everybody knows Kasper Schmeichel, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks, John. He's picked up a bone injury, I think it is, from his shoulder, I think it is. So he's going to be out for a few weeks. So Sinisalo gets his chance here. He should be playing against Hearts on Saturday, John, but no great news, is it? Kasper out for 2 to 3 weeks.
No, it's never any good news when one of your top players are out injured. But look, he's a world-class keeper, Kasper Schmeichel, but the last few weeks, he's been probably, you could call, a wee bit more than slightly leaky in the goals. He's let in a lot of goals, Xander, and a lot of his passing out for the back's been really poor. So is it going to be that great of a loss?
Yeah, 9 goals conceded against Rangers in 3 games for Kasper, isn't it? Not all his fault, I might add. He is a very good shot stopper, Kasper, isn't he? But his distribution in the last few games has been questionable, shall we say. Passing the ball straight to opposite players, you know, it's not like him. So maybe this wee 3-week rest will do him the world of good. And it gives, as I say, it gives Sinisalo the chance to step up and show what he can do. We signed this boy for a reason, John Sinisalo. He played in both. Sorry, he was called up for international duty for both games for Finland, but didn't play any minutes at all, John. So we didn't get to have a look at him. But this is why we signed this boy, John, to step in whenever Kasper gets injured.
Well, this is it. I mean, he must be a good goalkeeper. Celtic paid a lot of money for him, so it's not like he was just like a free transfer or something. Can't remember the fee, but I know it was a lot. And he'll step up to the mark. We've seen wee glimpses of him. We've seen a couple of wee glimpses, pre-season friendlies against Man City and that. He was pretty good, you know, pretty good keeper by the looks of things.
Yeah, he's decent. Yeah, as you say, he played well in that Man City game, albeit a friendly. He did play well. Folks, we'll get to the preview of the big Hearts game in about 5 minutes, folks. We're just running through the news just now, anything that's happening. Before we get to the other injury news, John, Frimpong has now opened talks with Liverpool, John. So this, you know, extra cash that Celtic was going to receive for this, you know, clause in his contract at Bayer Leverkusen, sell-on clause, looks as though Celtic are going to finally get this cut of the sale of Frimpong come this summer, John. Hopefully, if he goes to Liverpool or Real Madrid.
Aye. We've been talking about this for a long, long time, and it's maybe finally going to come to fruition for Celtic.
Yeah.
It's just some free money, basically, just some free money. And we already got a cracking transfer fee for Frimpong. I asked you before, what did you think of Frimpong? Do you think he's that type of player worth mega millions? I've never seen it.
I didn't see it when he played for Celtic, to be fair. But he's obviously improved his game going to Bayer Leverkusen there, John, because he's talked about everywhere, young Frimpong. He was decent for Celtic, don't get me wrong. He was a decent wee player, wasn't he? But he's obviously, you know, the older he gets, the more he bulks up, the stronger he gets. So he's obviously improved as a player. But 40, 50 million, John, I didn't see it when he was at Celtic anyway, but it's a bonus for us, I suppose.
Aye, it's always a bonus to get free money. It's always good to build up the funds, and hopefully Celtic spend that money come summertime. But no, look, he was a half decent wee player for Celtic, Frimpong. But like he says, at that time when he played for Celtic, I certainly never seen a 40-50 million pound player there. I was surprised to get the money that Celtic actually got from.
Yeah, it was a good deal at the time, wasn't it? So, good luck to young Jeremy Frimpong anyway, wherever he goes. Liverpool, Real Madrid, that's the two teams that are interested, that I've heard anyway. And I think Liverpool have opened talks to sign Frimpong in this summer, because they've just sold Calvert-Lewin, haven't they? So they need a new right back. All right, John, that's enough of that. Good luck to Jeremy Frimpong. I wanted to touch on this SFA carry-on one more time, John, before we get to the Hearts game. Let's just know the guy that plays for Rangers, Cerny, is it, that threw the water on the Celtic supporters, John? Unbelievable. Let's just know he's going to get away with this. Doesn't matter what you're throwing on opposite supporters, whether it's water, whether it's juice, whether it's a shoe, whether it's something you picked up off the ground. But if you're throwing something against opposite supporters, you should be punished for it, John. Look at the punishment Juve got for his spitting incident against opposite supporters, John. That ruined that guy's career, basically. And this guy is getting away with throwing water on Celtic supporters scot-free, John. Absolutely scot-free. SFA are doing nothing about it whatsoever. So certainly he's free to play against Dundee at the weekend. It really is unbelievable. I know we're going back a couple of weeks here, but you know the lack of punishment is actually just laughable now. Because let's have a look at some of the incidents that's happened that Rangers have actually got away with over the last couple of months, John. The Buckfast bottle thrown at Matt O'Reilly, SFA, nothing done about it. The glass on the pitch at Joe Hart's goal, SFA, nothing done about it. Coin thrown at Ernie Engels, actually hit him, bruised his face, SFA, nothing done about it either, John. Celtic coach needing stitches, SFA, nothing done about it. Rangers supporters destroying seats at Celtic Park, spray painting the foyers and destroying the toilets, SFA, nothing done about it, John. I could go on and on and on and on and on. I really can. There's endless amounts of stuff done about it. So my question is, and obviously you don't know the answer because I don't know the answer, is what is the point in having the SFA? We need a new governing body.
Especially when it comes to their favourite team. It seems they can just do what they want, get away with it. It doesn't matter. Their team is absolute poison. Everybody involved with that, from the fans to the top of the board, it's just poison. And nothing ever gets done about anything that they do. But if that was Celtic, if you reverse their roles, I'll guarantee you something would be done about it. It would be national headlines all over every paper. Every one of the incidents would be spoke about all over Britain if it was Celtic. And something would be done about it. But Rangers, it's swept under the carpet like it never happened. It's accepted, and their manager, Ferguson, is condoning the behaviour of Cerny. And their manager was jumping on Cerny's back at full time at Celtic Park, riding him like a horse, whipping his back and all that. What kind of manager behaves like that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for 3 points, I mean, for 3 points, Celtic with a chance to go 16 points clear again on Saturday. Listen to me, folks, 16 points clear, and look at the reaction to that Glasgow derby win for them. The water throwing incident is still unbelievable to me that he's getting away with that, John. That's unreal. You look at the Poppy thing, the Poppy Day thing that happens in the UK. A handful of Celtic supporters, no more than maybe 15, 20 Celtic supporters, booed it, didn't they? Or they sang through it, one of the two, can't quite remember. And as you say, John, it made national news. And then you've got all those incidents I just read out, John. I just read out about maybe 6 or 7 separate incidents that's happened, and every single one of them swept under the carpet. A lot more serious than booing or singing through a minute's silence, John.
Of course it is. It's never nice going back and looking at all these things that happen. It sounds like sour grapes, and a lot of the media think it's sour grapes from Celtic, but it's no sour grapes. We're 13 points ahead at the top of the league, absolutely flying. We lost one game, meaningless game really, if you're being honest. It's no sour grapes. it's Celtic fans wanting something done about their behaviour, because nothing's been done for the last couple of years anyway. The really bad incidents that's happened. You also had racist flags that the UEFA's going to do something about that. No, the SFA, they're quite happy to let it go. You know, they're like, it means nothing. It's a racist flag, big deal. That's the SFA's attitude. UEFA, on the other hand, they're taking something to do with it. Why can't the SFA follow suit?
Yeah, I think it's looking like stand closures for them for that, John. But we'll stick to the SFA for now, John. So what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. It looks as though every incident that's now going to happen, and it's always a Celtic team it happens to, the fans, the players, the management, the staff. It's always Celtic it seems to happen to, and all this stuff gets brushed under the carpet. You look at the incident with Neil Lennon at Tynecastle as well, John, just to go off track for a wee minute. The SFA done absolutely nothing about that. There's video footage of Neil Lennon getting attacked by a Hearts fan, and the SFA, yet again, absolutely nothing done about it. Hearts, as a football club, should have been fined severely for that, John, just like Rangers should have been for all these other incidents.
Well, if any fans are running on and attacking any players or staff of any team, the book should be thrown at them. And if you remember correctly, after that game, when the guy was caught, he's obviously caught, he's done it, he's hooked Neil Lennon. And I know this has gone back a long way, but we're just comparing incidents. And the media looked at that as, whatever the guy's name, we'll say his name was Shuggy McMurphy, the guy that attacked Neil Lennon. I don't know what his name was. When being a Hearts fan, there's slim chance of him being called Murphy right enough, isn't there? But anyway, Shuggy McMurphy and his alleged attack on Neil Lennon. It was alleged after it was caught in camera. His face is there and everything else. He's caught doing it, but it's still just looked at as alleged, not confirmed. Yeah,
that's it, John. That's what we're up against. So certainly, John, he gets away with it. He gets away with it scot-free. He's free to play against Dundee. Not a problem. Do what you want. No issues there. By the way, the Hearts supporters' name's more likely to be Gordon Ferguson, So, yeah, John, it's unbelievable what's happening. So we're bringing it up. That's it. Just let everybody know that Cerny got away with his antics at Celtic Park, spraying the Celtic supporters. That could have, John, you look at this realistically, those fans, he was lucky it happened in the main stand. Well, they're maybe a wee bit older, etc., John. But anywhere else in the stadium, Celtic supporters could have ran onto the park, which would have meant the Rangers supporters would have ran onto the park and caused a full-scale riot. That's the way you've got to look at it. Not the fact that it was just spraying some water on supporters. You've got to look at what could have happened at Celtic Park. And now every Rangers player is free to do the exact same in the next game.
Aye. What if a Celtic fan had ran on the park and punched him or something for his actions? Celtic would have been the ones to get punished. Celtic would have been hammered for it, although he's incited trouble. Incited a riot, really, by an attack on the Celtic fans.
Yeah.
If I was a Celtic player doing that, honestly, you would never ever hear the end of it, and you're never going to hear the end of it from us, because it's an absolutely disgrace that guy's walked away and his manager has condoned his behaviour. His manager loved it.
Yeah. Well, if the press are going to do it, the manager's going to do it, the SFA are going to do it, all we can do is highlight it, John. And just bear in mind the next incident that happens involving a Celtic fan or player. Just bear it in mind, right? Right, John, we'll leave it there. Let's move on because we've got plenty to get through. The big preview's coming up, folks. One more wee thing on the news front. Victor Wanyama signed for Dunfermline, didn't he? Big Victor, big Celtic legend, if you like, scoring that goal against Barcelona, wasn't it? What a player Big Wanyama was, and probably still is, because he's signed as a player, John. So he's going to get his run out against Brunei's Ayr United, on Saturday. Big Victor Wanyama. I'm not sure what age he is now, John, but I bet he can still do a decent job.
Absolutely, aye. A big solid player, wasn't he, Victor Wanyama? When I seen that, I thought, wonder if he could have done a job for Celtic in the centre of the park. But what a baptism for him, right in against Brunei's team. Lenny against Brunei. What a debut that is for Lenny and Wanyama.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the predictions a wee bit later, John. Ayr against Dunfermline, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting one, that, but it's the exact same kick-off time as the Celtic game, so we'll not get to see it, unfortunately. We can just look out for the result and, anything else that happens in that one. But that'll be quite interesting, I think, to see both our ex-legends, John, they're still legends, but ex-players and manager face-to-face against each other. That's very interesting.
Well, he's only 33, by the way. 33, Victor Wanyama is.
Oh, is he? Right, okay, right. I didn't know that. I thought he was nearer the 40. So, yeah, he could maybe still do a job there at Celtic. And maybe a good few months at Dunfermline, John, the Celtic management team might be having a wee look at him. If he does a decent job, obviously. We don't know the kind of condition he's in. No, 33, though, for a midfielder, isn't he, old John?
Centre of the park, he was absolutely solid. He could play in that Callum McGregor role, and we've been talking about that, players that could still do a job for Celtic in the Callum McGregor role. And Victor Wanyama, he's ideal for that, isn't he? He's coming up for 34 in a couple of months, but still a solid big player.
Yeah, 34 is nothing if you're looking after yourself as a professional footballer. So, yeah, one to keep an eye on, definitely. Yeah, but he's got to Dunfermline for a reason, I suppose, isn't he, John? So, John, just a wee word on what you just said there, actually. We were saying since the summer last year, when we sold Iwata, that we needed another central defensive midfielder. We've been saying it in just about every single podcast, and nobody else was saying it up until now, John. I've noticed that all the other podcasts, all the other news channels related to Celtic are showing, potential summer signings for central defensive midfielders, John. It's too late, John. We've been saying it for a year now, with nobody else mentioning it at all. Well, I've not heard anyway. But now all the other channels and podcasts are now linking Celtic to various different central defensive midfielders. I take it that 3-2 loss to Rangers at Celtic Park was a bit of an eye-opener for everybody.
Of course, aye. I mean, it's only common sense that we needed another central defensive midfielder after, what's his name? The Japanese player, you just mentioned him.
Iwata.
After Iwata left, that's when we started talking about it. Where's the cover for Callum McGregor? And so it's been common sense, and we've been saying it for a long time, that there ain't any cover there. Bernardo can't play in there. Arnie Engels can't play in there. And what's his name? The boy we got off to McCowan, he can't play in there either. So there's absolutely no cover for Callum McGregor. And I think we did miss him in the Derby game, but that's not to say if Callum McGregor was playing, we would have won that game, because we don't know. You just don't know. It could just be one of the days nobody shows up, and that's what it was. Callum McGregor might not have made an iota of difference. You just don't know.
All right, John, let's park it there then. Thanks for that. That was quite interesting going through all that. Quite a wee bit to get through there, actually, because this is the first time I've been on in 6 days, is it? 7 days maybe? It's been a wee while, so there's a wee bit to catch up on there. And that's us done. The Brendan Rodgers press conference, that'll be happening round about now. But what we'll do is we'll do the Celtic versus Hearts preview, John. We'll do that right now. So let's do it. Kevin Clancy, he's the referee for this one, John, at Paradise on Saturday. He's the man in the middle. Clancy, he always has a dodgy game against us, I think, Clancy. So he's a ref anyway, with Greg Aitken on the VAR. That's your two men in charge of the game. Looking at the pricing for this one, you've got Celtic at 1-4 to beat Hearts. The draw at 5-1, and Hearts to come away with the 3 points is priced at 11-1. So the bookmakers giving Hearts a slight chance, but not much of a chance. Celtic hot favourites, just the usual at Celtic Park. But as you said on the last podcast, John, the post-match for the Rangers game, that Hearts are going to be tricky opponents.
They're always tricky opponents, doesn't matter where you're playing them. It's a tough game. 11-1, I think, but they're no giving Hearts really that much of a chance. But No team that comes to Celtic Park, any Scottish team anyway, is expected to have much of a chance coming to Celtic Park. But like I always say, it's 11 men against 11. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen in any game of football. Look at Queen's Park, John. Just that's one example. It's a good example, but it's just one example, you know. So
it's no big deal that though. Playing
No.
against Sefco, they're absolutely rank rotten. I've no idea how they turned Celtic over.
Yeah, well, we've got our ideas how it happened, but we'll not go back to there, John. We'll not go back there. Weather for them to going to Paradise on Saturday is overcast, drizzle, and very gloomy, isn't it? With overcast with drizzle and rain, John, with temperatures of 10 degrees, with winds up to 20 miles an hour and gusts of up to 40 miles an hour. So just a pretty miserable day ahead on Saturday, John.
Aye. It's just a typical day in Scotland, really, isn't it? But well, the weather should never get in the way of any professional football player. If you love the game, you'll play it in any weather.
Yeah, of course. So miserable day, but Celtic will hopefully brighten the day up. We've gone 16 points clear. That's what everybody is looking for that's listening and watching this. Right, let's go through the Celtic injuries then, John. Obviously, the press conference has not been done yet, but we've got a rough idea of what's going to be said. The goalkeeper, he's out. It's Casper. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Could be even longer, John. We'll wait and see what Brendan says later on. But he's out for 2 to 3 weeks as it stands. Callum McGregor, he's been pictured training today, so that's great news. His full training schedule there. Looks fit as a flea, Callum. It looks like he means business as well. I'll put the wee video on later of that. You'll get that on the YouTube shorts, so have a wee look out for that. He looks fit as a flea. He looks hungry. Sonny Salo, John, he's going to be in goals. I've mentioned that already. Paulo Bernardo, he's fit and ready. Also, he's 100% fit, John. So he may start the game, you know, if Callum isn't 100%. But I think he'll be on the bench, Bernardo. And the only other one is Trusty, who's still a slight doubt, John. So mixed news, mixed fortunes there for us. I think the big one there is that Callum McGregor should be back, John.
Aye, definitely. That's good news if Callum's back. He's not been at his best the last few games he's played, but he was carrying an injury. Hopefully that injury's healed up and we'll see Callum back to full steam ahead. Yeah,
full steam ahead indeed, John. Moving on, Scalesy still suffering from that face knock he picked up against St Mirren. Didn't see him on the training video, so it looks as though Big Scales is still a doubt. I thought he would have been fully rested and ready for action, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what Brendan says. And James Forrest was also pictured in full training beside Callum McGregor. Just look out for the video, you'll see it. James Forrest also ready for action as well. So a wee word on Trusty there, John. He looks as though he could be a doubt for this one. Not quite recovered yet. Not 100% sure on this one, John, but we do have an able debutant in Big Naroki if needed.
Aye. Well, as long as there's somebody there beside Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers has not been at his best recently either. But it's time for Naroki to shine. He's getting his chance here. Shows what you're capable of. Make your mark in the team. Make yourself a regular starter, son. He's obviously a good defender because, again, Celtic paid a right good few quid for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 4 or 5 million, wasn't it, for Big Naroki? So I think it was 5 million actually. So I'll see what happens if Trusty is still out. We'll find out soon enough. But as it stands, he's still a doubt. I'm just trying to think of anybody else that's maybe picked up these slight knocks. No, I think everybody else is good to go there, John. Right, let's have a wee word on the Hearts team. The Hearts injuries. They've got a couple out, John. They've actually got 5 out of this one. Stephen Kingsley, the left back, he's out with a hamstring. Frankie Kent, he's out also with a muscle strain. His centre back. Halkett, the centre back as well, John. He's out also with a hamstring. Denholm, midfielder, John. Denholm, he is out with a muscle tear, and Cammy Devlin is a doubt, John. He's a doubt. He could be there, John. He could play, but he looks as though he may be out for another week or so, John. So that's quite a few injuries for them as well.
Aye, Cammy Devlin, he's a fiery wee player, isn't he?
Yeah, fiery, indeed. Good wee player, actually, Cammy Devlin. As you said on the post-match for the Rangers game, they're littered with good players, Hearts. You know, they're a team we need to watch. They're a team that I'd like to attack Celtic as well. They're not scared to come to Celtic Park, John, and attack us. So let's hope the defence has sorted out the wee issues that we've had there over the last couple of weeks, John, because Hearts are going to come at us.
Aye, of course they will. They'll have a go. That defence is, I mean, it's been all over the place, but and I don't think it helps when you're chopping and changing things either. But the pairing has been Trusty and Carter Vickers, and I think that's going to be at risk. I don't think Trusty's going to start this game. I definitely think he'll miss this one. Yeah,
I think so as well. Yeah. It makes for an interesting game, doesn't it? Hearts are actually on a bit of form. Apart from the loss to Hibs, Hearts have actually, put together a good wee run of form. So they're definitely worth the watching, John. We obviously both think that Celtic are going to win this one and go the 16 points clear. With Rangers to go to Dens Park on Saturday night, and that isn't a given, that's for sure. But I just think we're good enough, we're strong enough at Celtic Park. We've had one blip, and I don't know how long, John. When was the last defeat before Rangers? It was a long time ago. So, and the players are really very hungry to put that right as well, John. The players will want to put on a show to show that was just a one-off against the Rangers. So, I think you'll see a very hungry Celtic on Saturday afternoon.
I hope so. I think it was Hibs was the last team to beat us, wasn't it? They beat us at Easter Road. They beat us 2-1 there.
Yeah.
I can't remember what we were talking about there, because I was trying to think of the last time Celtic lost a game before Rangers. It was Hibs.
Yeah, but I can't remember the last time we lost at Celtic Park before Rangers, John. That was a wee while ago. That was.
Oh, aye.
So that'll be playing on the players' minds, and they want to put that right. And that's, I said to you on the post-match, John, that Hearts will be the ones that suffer for this, and hopefully I'm right, because I want to see a hungry Celtic. I want to see a silky, stylish Celtic, and a Celtic that is defending for their lives.
It's always hard to get yourself up to speed after a international break, though, isn't it? It's not a case of you can just go out and hit the ground running, hit form straight away. It takes a couple of games to get yourself back up to speed, or at least, it might take an hour for the players to get themselves back up to speed. So you might find it quite a slow start to this game because of that, the international break.
Yeah.
You might see a kind of possession-based first half and look for a wee opening. And then maybe within an hour, you might see the players start to wake up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that could happen, John, or we could just come out the traps flying. That's what we're all wanting, isn't it? As you say, that international break, it just breaks everything up, doesn't it? This Celtic and Hearts game as well, John. I'm not taking it for granted against St Johnstone in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup, but it could potentially be a wee build up to the Scottish Cup final, John. If Hearts get to the final, Celtic beat St Johnstone as well. It could be a wee, pre-match to the Scottish Cup final, potentially.
Potentially, we don't know yet. These games have not happened yet, but potentially it could be. I don't know. Is it Aberdeen and Hearts, isn't it, in the other semi-final?
Yeah.
Aberdeen have been terrible this season. Apart from, obviously, they had a outstanding start to the season, but they've been poor. But I don't know. I just kind of fancy Aberdeen to get to the final instead of Hearts, to be honest with
you. Yeah. As you say, we don't know. We'll wait and see. But, it gives us a wee idea of how they're playing, and gives us a wee close-up personal look at Hearts, if indeed they do get to the Scottish Cup final, and Celtic for that matter. Right, John, let's touch on a few of the players that are in international duty then. Adam Ida scored for Ireland, didn't he? It was a nice wee finish as well, sort of a half volley from across. Nice wee finish. So we just want that goal for Adam Ida to boost his confidence, to come back for Celtic and start buying in the goals, John. That's all we're looking for.
Absolutely, aye. It was a nice finish from Adam. He's got to start finding form. He's got to start being the striker that we paid £9 million for, because he's just looking like a guy that's out his depth, to be honest with you, Xander, at Celtic. And there's also rumours of Kyogo returning to Celtic as well, which isn't going to help him much.
Yeah, I did see that actually, so I didn't really want to, read on too much when I was looking at it, because you know what these things are like. Rumours.
Aye. It's just a rumour. I mean, rumours can affect players, though, Xander. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's it.
And if that does happen, Kyogo coming back to Celtic, there's clearly no place at Celtic for Adam either, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in big, Adam Ida's, hands. It's up to him, go out there, score against Hearts, score the winner against Hearts, score the league decider against Kilmarnock, after the St Johnstone game, things like that, all these big games that are coming up. This is the business end of the season, and big Adam Ida's got a great chance, John, to make his mark, prove his point, whatever you want to call it, John. The big man's got a great chance here. We've also got another game against Rangers, and we've got a Scottish Cup final coming up as well. So the big man, he put in that performance that you put in with Ireland, then he'll not be too far away, John. We just want the big man to succeed at Celtic. That's all everybody wants at Celtic, is for Adam Ida to be a success.
Well, I want every player at Celtic to be a success, Adam Ida included. It was that loan spell that he had at Celtic convinced every Celtic fan we should get this guy. This is the guy we want. He loves Celtic. He's banging in the goals. He's a poacher. But it panned out to be absolutely nothing like the player we thought we were getting. He came back a totally different player.
Yeah, and then he has his moments, doesn't he? His goals against Aston Villa, his other big goals he scored this season. He has his moments, so we know he can do it. So good luck to Big Adam if he starts on Saturday against Hearts, John. So the other one I wanted to have a wee word on was Arnott Ingles, John. He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down. His form is inconsistent, shall we say. We know he's a decent lad. We know he's a decent player. But we need Adam now to start grabbing these games by the scruff of the neck in every single game that he plays, John, and get this title over the line, and then we can look at the Scottish Cup as well.
Well, this is it. And you want the title over the line as soon as possible. There's no long to go. So, was it 8 games left? 8, isn't it?
Yeah,
3 more wins, the league's in the bag. So this game is crucial. We really need to get this over the line. Then it comes down to 2 more wins, takes the pressure off the players a wee bit after the loss to Sevco. I think that's this game is a must win, just to ease the nerves a wee bit, especially with the fans as well, because we're not seeing Celtic hitting great form right now. I mean, we really shouldn't be losing to Sevco at Celtic Park. They're a bad team. We just should not be losing to them. It's as simple as that. And if we can lose to them, there's every chance we could lose to Hearts.
Yeah, that's the way you can look at it, John. That's the way a lot of people are looking at it. Losing to Rangers was bad, but we've saw Hearts putting better performances than Rangers this season, John. So that's actually a good point. They're going to come. I said earlier, they're going to come. They're going to attack. They have nothing to lose, John, have they? They are more or less clear of the relegation zone now. They're sitting round about the 7th, 8th position mark. So they've got nothing to lose. They're just going to come at Celtic. So it's going to be tough, John. It's going to be really tough against Hearts. But like I always say in every preview to every game, a nice wee early goal would settle the nerves.
Aye, but I don't think it's going to be that kind of game. As I said earlier, Celtic's not going to come flying out the traps, I don't think. Well, we don't know because it's not happened yet. I just get that feeling after an international break, it's never teams flying out the traps. It's going to be. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the league table right now, Xander. Hearts are actually sitting 6th.
Yeah.
They're only 2 points behind Dundee United. So either they're in the mix with from 3rd to 6th. They're all quite close. Hibs sitting 3rd. Hibs are 3rd on 44, and then Hearts are sitting 6th with 39. So there's only 5 points between them and 3rd place.
Yeah, they had a good run there, John. Apart from the Hibs game where they got beat, they had a good run, and that's why they've shot away up the table. I knew they were well away from the relegation zone. So 7th, 6th, yeah, I knew they were running about there, John. I didn't realise it was 6, mind you. They're in the top 6. I didn't realise that. But yeah, they're a good team, John. So very, very cautious. We need to be very cautious at Hearts. They've got goals in them as well, John. They've got their strikers up there banging in the goals. So what I need off you then, John, is a predicted lineup for this one. It's not going to be easy with the likes of Trusty potentially 50-50 with this one. Callum, we think, is going to be okay. Bernardo's back as well. So a wee bit of work for you there, John, but it's just a guess. It's just a wee guess at the predicted 11. What you thinking is going to be the starting lineup?
Possibly Naroki back. We don't know, but that's a tough one, the Naroki situation. But I'm going to go for Sinisalo, Carter Vickers, and Naroki.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Trusty's going to be ready for this one. I really don't.
Yeah.
But we don't know. But I'm going to say Carter Vickers and Naroki. They started against Rangers, but I don't know. Right back, Alistair Johnson. Left back, no pack. Do you fancy Greg Taylor for a wee start on this one, maybe? Or do you think Sloop?
Aye. I tried and trusted over the last 5 or 6 games. I think we'll stick with the Schlipster.
Aye, I'll go for Sloop as well. Carter Vickers, Naroki, Johnson and Sloop. We need to see a big improvement from Alistair Johnson from that last game.
Yeah, that was, he didn't have the greatest international break either, did he? Alistair Johnson. But no, he'll be okay. He'll be fine, I think.
Centre of the park, Rio Hatate, who was world class the last half hour against Sefco. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah.
But we need to see that every game from him. But he will start anyway, beside Cal McGregor. I think he'll be ready.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Calmac, Rio Hatate, and this is a tough one. I like the look of Luke McCowan, Xander, before Engels. I just think Luke McCowan's a better player, better all-round player. But I think Engels will start this one.
Mm-hmm.
Up front, Dyson right through the middle, as you like. Get right through there, Dyson, bang them in, son. Jota on the right, and Jota on the left, and on the right, Nicholas Kuhn.
Yeah, he also needs to pick it up.
Exactly, aye.
Yep. All right, John, a wee bit of up and down form just now for us, isn't it? It really is. But, we've got a great manager in place there who can sort all this out. That's what we're all hoping for anyway, Brendan, to sort it out. Dyson through the middle instead of Adam Ida. Yeah, I'll go for that as well. Even though Big Adam, his confidence will be high after scoring for Ireland. I think it's Dyson through the middle as well, John. So yeah, it's actually a team for me as well there, John. The only issue there really is, as you say, Naroki or Big Trusty. All right, John, score prediction time. This is, I think I got one right the weekend. We got beat with Rangers, but we didn't even talk about it. So it's 10-8 just now between us two. So I need a score prediction off you, John, then I'll give you mine.
Right, I haven't got one right for a wee while now. I think it was 10-3 at one point, now it's 10-8.
Yeah, it was 10-2 at one point, John.
10-2 was it?
Getting closer near the end of the season, isn't it?
That is. Anyway, let's try and claw this back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an extravagant amount of goals or anything like that. I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to say 2-1 Celtic.
Yeah, I was thinking similar, John. I'll say 2-0 Celtic. The defence will keep everybody quiet with a nice clean sheet, and a nice clean sheet for Cerny and goals as well, John. But I know what you're saying, 2-1. Hearts have got goals in them. We've got a new goalkeeper in there as well. Don't know each other. Defence and the goalkeeper don't know each other. So yeah, I know what you're saying. But I'll go for the 2-0 with the big 60,000 crowd behind us. Although it didn't do us any good last week, 2 weeks ago, did it? But we'll not go back there. Right, 2-1, 2-0, doesn't matter, John. 3 points in the bag, 16 points clear. That's what we're looking for Rangers to go to Dens at 5:30 on the Saturday. Dundee, John, looking for survival, basically, near the bottom. I think they're second bottom of the table. They're a decent team. They've already taken points off Rangers this season at Dens Park. That'll be a tougher game for Rangers than what it was at Celtic Park. That's all I'll say.
Aye, absolutely. Just Celtic were just so poor. But Dundee are sitting 11th in the table, and they're 5 points behind St Johnstone, so they're a wee bit safe from relegation. But they'll want to widen that gap. They're definitely going to want to widen that gap on Saturday night against Rangers, I think. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But we're not really interested in that game right now. All we want right now is for Celtic to get that 16-point gap back. And if Seth will go and win that game at Dens Park, then who cares? We're still 13 points ahead. We only need 2 wins to clinch the league.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's things are still in a very, very, very good position for Celtic. 13 points. You imagine, sorry, John, you imagine we're 13 points clear. With 8 games to go, you were told that at the start of the season. How would you feel if you were 13 points clear with 8 games to go? You would jump for joy, So it's just because of this Glasgow derby loss, John, that maybe the Celtic fans are feeling a wee bit down just now.
Aye, definitely. Aye. Every Celtic fan, it's never good to lose a derby game at any time. It doesn't matter if it's a dead rubber or whatever. It's never a nice feeling. But you get over it after a couple of days, It's one of these things. But had it been closer, had Rangers managed to claw it back to, say, 2 points or something, you'd have no nails left. And by the way, do you think Brendan Rodgers will be riding the Celtic players backs like a horse, like a jockey, after winning the league or anything like that? James Brendan will be jumping on the players' backs and whipping them.
Yeah, that's it, John. Yeah. Maybe no the whipping.
I will. I mean, I seen that Ferguson jump on Cerny's back and laughing and all that, whipping his back as if he was a jockey and all that stuff. It's a dead rubber. Again, can you imagine any ex-Rangers manager doing that? Walter Smith. Can you imagine Walter Smith jumping on, I don't know, just any Rangers players back and
Amarillo?
Aye, something like that. Walter Smith jumping his back. Walter Smith had class as a manager, Sander. Like most Rangers managers and most Celtic managers, they behave themselves. Yeah. And they should be telling their players as well, behave yourself, don't act like a clown. You're trying to represent this club. And yet, there you've got this absolute half-wit Ferguson riding as if he's in 3:30 at Chepstow.
3:30 at Chepstow. Horses all round, eh? No, I know what you're saying, John. Rangers managers with a touch of class would never do something like that. I know having a bit of a giggle about it, but no, you're bang on, John. Only, managers like Ferguson would do that sort of nonsense, So let them have their 3 points, John. That was 2 weeks ago now. We're back to this Saturday where we've got an absolutely fantastic chance to go 16 points clear, John. And what I will say, John, you've got to bear in mind, and anybody that's listening this far into the podcast that's still listening, remember when they beat us 2 weeks ago on Sunday, it was like bonfire night for 3 points. You've got to bear that in mind, folks. You've got to remember that when these trophies are being handed out. That's all I'm going to say in the situation, John. Bear it in mind.
I don't live in Glasgow, as you know, but I can imagine it. after a derby win, a meaningless win at that. All right, it's never good to lose these games, like I says, and they won it, and their fans are celebrating for days, letting off fireworks constantly, and all the rest of it, all the nonsense, you know. But every Celtic fan should bear that in mind, what they put Celtic fans through after a pretty much meaningless game. So bear that in mind, Celtic fans, like Xander says, get your fireworks ready for winning the league, get them ready for winning the Scottish Cup, and celebrate it for a week, and make it count. Just make it count, because they certainly do, and we need to return the favour, plus VAT.
Yeah, plus VAT. But the difference with the Celtic fans is they've got class, John. So,
well, the difference with the Celtic fans is they actually won something, a league.
Yeah, that's it. Celebrate when you win something. You know, that's exactly it, John. Right, we'll leave that there, John. We'll leave that there. I just wanted a wee quick word on the potential new contract for Dyson Maeda. I forgot to mention that at the start there, John. That's great news if we get him to, I think it's 2030 or something like that, John. He's going to get a big extension. His current contract runs to 2027, so he's still got 2 years, and they're going to add another 3 years or so, something like that, onto his contract, John. So that's just great news. Looks as though Dyson will be retiring at Celtic, or they're going to extend his contract because there's maybe offers from other clubs, John, so we get top dollar for him.
The latter one, I think that's more towards the truth. I think Celtic will extend his contract, but he maybe be away next season or something like that. I really don't know. I'm just, just speculation. But I think Dyson would like to move on to another club. But you don't know. Maybe a big wage increase might tease him to stay at Celtic. If you up his wages to the wages that Callum McGregor's on, which is about 35 grand a week apparently. Mm-hmm. If you offer Dyson that kind of money, he might be tempted to stay, big wages, playing for a big club, playing in the Champions League, winning trophies. He can't stand Sevco. That might help him as well. He always wants to get one over on them. Yeah. But we'll wait and see there. But whatever the situation is, it's good news for Celtic fans.
Yeah, that's it. Well done, Dyson. He's got Celtic at heart. He really has. Even if it is for Celtic to get a bigger fee, signing that contract so that Celtic do get a bigger fee, John. So well done to Dyson. But I think we'll see him here for another couple of years yet anyway. Right, John, predictions. Let's get into the SPL, the rest of the fixtures. SPL roundup. Let's do it, John. Let's get right into it. I like to do this. This is good fun. We've not done this for a wee while, John, so it's good to get back to this. By the way, as I said 2 weeks ago, John, we didn't get any right. I got one right. I can't even remember what game it was. I need to listen back again. But let's see if we can get a few right this time. Right, Aberdeen against Motherwell.
Well, you can't claim 10-8 if you don't know.
No, I know I've got one right. I can't remember the game. I think sorry, John. I think it was actually Hibs again. I think it was the Hibs game yet again. But I'll double check it out. We'll get back to you. But Aberdeen, Motherwell.
I'm only kidding, Xander. I believe you.
I know. I know for my own records. I can't remember what game it was, but I'm sure it was Hibs. But for the third time, Aberdeen, Motherwell.
Aberdeen, Motherwell. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Two pretty poor teams, to be honest with you. Yeah. Aberdeen, they'll want to reclaim third spot again. I'm going to say an Aberdeen win here. I'm going to say 3-1 Aberdeen.
Oh, big win against the Steelmen. I'll say 2-1 to Motherwell, John. Just no longer off the back of coming out of Ibrox with 3 points. We know that goes for no much these days. Anybody can do that apart from Celtic. So 2-1 win for Motherwell for me there against the Dons. Hibs against St Johnstone, Easter Road.
I'm sure Hibs lost their last game. I drew it. I can't remember. I'm going to go for a Hibs win, 2-0.
It's a Hibs win for me too. 2-1 for me for the old Highbees. And then we've got St Mirren against Kilmarnock, John. St Mirren at home. St Mirren have been up and down all season, but they're a decent team, St Mirren, aren't they? So it's a tricky one. That's got draw it all over it for me, that one bit. What you thinking?
I'm thinking a home win. I'll say 2-1 St Mirren.
Yeah, 1 each for me there, John, against the two. And then the later kick-off, I've got Dundee against the Rangers, John, at Dens Park. Tricky. Dundee can be a very tricky team to play against. They really are. They're a good team. You know, we were lucky to get the draw there the last time out, John, with that last-minute penalty. But they're up against them this time, John. What do you think?
I'm thinking a draw in this one. I'm thinking 1 each.
I don't know. I mean, Rangers are going to be favourites to win the game, but I'm going to go outside the box here and say a 2-1 win for Dundee for me in that one. And then we move to, no, in fact, before we get to Sunday, there's one more game on Saturday. It's the big one, isn't it? The big one. Ayr United against Dunfermline, John. Bruni against Lenny. All eyes will not be on it because they'll be watching Celtic, but all eyes will be on it later on. So what are you thinking, John? Ayr United against the Pals.
It's that new manager buzz, isn't it, Lenny? Lenny's won stuff. He's won trophies at Celtic. He's a very experienced manager. He's brought in Victor Wanyama. He's up against his old pal Bruni, of course, who's flying near the top of the league. I'm going to stick with Bruni here, Xander. I'm going to say 2-1 Ayr United.
I don't know. You broke up there. What was the score? Sorry, John.
2-1 Ayr United.
2-1 Ayr. I don't know. It's Lenny, isn't it? You know, he can get the best out of players. He really can. But I'm going to stick with the on-form team like you, John. 3-1 to Ayr United for me in that one. Then we move to Sunday. By the way, good luck to Lenny and Bruni, but good luck to both of them. Don't really care who wins. But nice to see Bruni winning, just to keep him in touch for that playoff position. So good luck to both of them.
Well, this is it. We've kept an eye on Scotty Brown all season, so I'm with you on that one. I want an Ayr United win because I want Bruni. I'd love to see Bruni in the Premiership. He's took his team from scratch, spent the whole season there, rejected offers from the Premier League, and stuck with his team, Ayr United. So I'd love to see him win that game, get yourself near the top, get yourself into the playoff spots, or possibly even win the league. There's still quite a few games left yet. But after that, of course, we all want Lenny to do fantastically well as well.
Yeah, that's it, John. Good luck to both our legends there at Ayr United on Saturday. Right, into Sunday, John, just the one game I want to have a wee word on. It's not much of a game, really. Ross County against Dundee United. I know you like the Arabs, John, but they're away to Ross. They're away to Ross County, yeah. Dundee United against Ross County, John. Ross County at home. What are you thinking?
Well, it's a tough game for the Arabs, that one. I'll be up to Dingwall for that. I'm going to go for a Desmond, a 2-2.
Yeah, it's very tough, isn't it? Dundee United are another unpredictable team. A lot of unpredictable teams in the SPL this year. I'm going to say 2-1 to Ross County, John. Yeah, I think a home win there for me as well. All right. That wraps it up then. That's our predictions for this week, John. It's been 2 weeks. It's been a long 2 weeks. It really has. It's just great to get back into the real football, John. Let's call it the real football, because that's what it is. This international stuff. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not one of them. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I know you used to like it, John, but it gets on your nerves as well now. It's just great to get back to the real stuff.
I think it just gets on my nerves just now because we were just after the back of a derby defeat, and I just could not be bothered with international stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like the last thing you want to see. But I watched the Scotland game anyway. But that was rotten, I know. But it's good to get back to the real deal. That's what it's all about for me and you, and probably every other Celtic fan. All that's important to us is Celtic and or Ireland if you're an Irish fan. Or if you're an England fan and you support Celtic. There's a lot of Celtic fans support England. A lot of Celtic fans live in England as well, you know.
Yeah, that's it. We're everywhere. We're everywhere in the world, aren't we? All right, John. Just one more wee thing before we go then, right? Celtic ladies play Friday night, John, 7:35 kick-off. That'll be on the TV, by the way, somewhere. Celtic ladies versus Glasgow City. That's a big one at the top of the league there, John. One that a lot of the Celtic fans will be looking out for, John. The ladies won that one. You know, they've got a great chance up there at the top of the league. But it was a good game anyway. No matter where Celtic are in the league, I think it's always interesting when the Celtic ladies play Glasgow City.
Aye. I've watched, every time I watch Celtic ladies right now, they seem to get beat. But I think they're still quite near the top of the league. I'm just going to check that. But I'm sure they're third. I'm sure Hibs are top of that league now, Xander, which is quite a big achievement for them.
Yeah, they're doing well, and they're in the Scottish Cup final as well. Hibs, Sean, I think you're right.
Aye, they are. Aye. This Hibs are top of the women's league, which is very unusual. And the Celtic ladies are 6 points behind Hibs in fourth place, and they're 3 points behind Glasgow City, who are in third, and Rangers are second. So it's a win for Celtic ladies would put them third in the league.
Yeah, and within touching distance of that top spot, John. So yeah, thanks for looking that up, John. I wasn't too sure where they are in the league, but I know now. But it's always a big game, the ladies, isn't it, when they play the Glasgow City, and it's at home as well for the Celtic ladies. So if anyone wants to get along there on Friday night, 7:35 kick-off, Celtic ladies versus Glasgow City. Good luck to the Celtic ladies. Right, John, that wraps it up for us. That's been a good hour. It's been quite good. Gone through a lot of stuff there, John. It's been a couple of weeks, as I say, since we've been on. We went through a lot of stuff there, got a lot off our chest as well. But the most important thing, John, 3 points, and then we move on.
Sorry, Xander, I had you muted there. Aye, 3 points, the most important thing. Move on, get rid of the bad memory of last week, Xander. That's the most important thing. And before we go, I'll give a shout out to some of the people in the chat. I won't read the messages out because we've not got time, but I'll give them all a shout out. Martin Nicol, of course. Martin always leaves comments. He loves this podcast. Thanks very much for that, Hector Nicol. Always great to hear from you. He's up for a laugh, Martin.
Yeah, Martin's good banter with Martin. Yeah, how you doing, Martin? We'll read out the comments on the post-match because there wasn't really many comments to talk about apart from the stuff we already went over, the Rangers game, so we didn't want to go through all that again. But we will do the comments in the post-match, everybody.
Aye. Anyway, thanks, Martin. Martin Nicol, Hector Nicol. Then you had Joseph Docherty from Little Ireland. Hi, Joseph. How you doing, mate? Thanks for the comment.
Cheers, mate.
Summit Today. Hello, Summit Today. Nice to hear from you, mate.
And pal, good to have you on board.
A message from Claire. Thanks, Claire.
Yep, cheers, Claire. Good to have you on board, pal.
Who else was there? Paul McEwen. Hi, Paul.
Paul, how you doing, pal? We'll get you all on the post-match, folks.
Hi, Paul's is some man, isn't he? Same comment every time.
Yeah.
James Doran, of course. Hi, Jamesy boy. Always good to hear from Jamesy boy, our good regular there.
Yeah, James, legend James. We'll get you on the post-match, buddy.
We would never sell a club. Another legend.
Another legend, yeah. See you
Mad about
post-match. Monday is the next podcast, folks. We'll get your comments read out on Monday. 100%.
Yeah, definitely, aye. Mad about football.
Yeah, legend. How you doing, Mad about football?
Roseanne, of course, another legend.
Yeah, another legend. Hundreds of comments she leaves. We'll get you on the post-match, Roseanne.
Aye, well, that's the mod. There was actually loads of comments, but I'll just give a wee shout out to all them, Xander, before we leave. Always nice to give them a wee shout out because they all listen to this regular.
Yeah, because we had so much to go through today, John, there was no really any time for the comments. So there will be a lot of comments regarding the Hearts results on Monday. So that'll be very interesting reading. Hopefully, it's all for the right reason as well, John. So, as you say, John, you'll be sum up there, John. 3 points. That's all we're looking for. 16 points clear, John. You know, we don't want to be giving anybody any, reason to be confident, but if we draw against Hearts, or even worse, if we get beat, we just want to win the game and put this league to bed. That's all we're looking for.
I get it to bed early, and that's it. Win this. We only need another 2 wins, and that's the title ours. It's almost over, Xander, the season. It's been a great season so far, and let's get the juggernaut rolling on Saturday. Let's get this league over the line.
Yeah, well said. All right, John, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll catch you on Monday for the post-match. John, thank you very much for everything you said today. It was very interesting stuff. And thank you, everybody, for viewing and listening. Remember, hit that subscribe button as well, folks. Get the subscriptions up. They're way up past the 4,000 now. So thank you, everybody. Subscribe to the podcast. That's appreciated. And we'll catch you all on Monday. So hail for now, everybody, and good luck to Celtic on Saturday.
Hail, Xander. I'll speak to you Monday.